Thank you for joining us tonight. And I got a question for our guest tonight. Which Die Hard movie was originally titled Die Hard New York?
Well, what is Die Hard with a Vengeance?
Correct! Welcome back to Faithful Film Fanatic. Welcome back to Faithful Film Fanatic. Unless you don't have ears today, you would know that today we're going to review Die Hard with a Vengeance. The plot of this movie is actually quite simple. John McClane and a Harlem store owner are targeted by German terrorist Simon in New York City, where he plans to rob the Federal Reserve Building. I had a lot of problems with this movie, which is why I was puzzled whenever I was doing some research and I came across a majority of positive reviews. Die Hard with a Vengeance is not only a great movie, it is arguably the best masterpiece sequel of all time. Fast-paced and action-packed. Great action movie with fast-paced action throughout, but best installment in the Die Hard trilogy. Sure, it's missing some logic, but one hell of a film by far. That last quote doesn't make any sense to me. Die Hard does it again. My biggest problem I had with this movie was I felt like the whole movie was just a rip-off of Dirty Harry. If you have never seen Dirty Harry before, I highly recommend it. It's with Clint Eastwood. It was back in the 70s, and pretty much, just to kind of summarize it real quick, Dirty Harry, Clint Eastwood is all going across San Diego on the phone with this bad guy, and the bad guy gave him a time limit, and he had to go to the next phone booth, the bad guy was having him chase after a phone, so he could get on with his other bad guy plans, which is basically what this movie did. This movie was far from being original, and I can't help but try to think that these people that wrote these good reviews, did we watch the same movie? Because this movie, that there were lots of action. There's no action in the first hour of the movie, and yet you call this an action film? Samuel L. Jackson, who plays Zeus, he's completely useless in this movie. His character's there for one reason, just to be funny. And I love Samuel L. Jackson. He's one of my favorite actors. But they should have gave his character more of a purpose, or he shouldn't have been in the movie. This story is far from believable, and I understand it's an action film, it's not supposed to be believable, but this movie was so far from being believable that I just couldn't enjoy it. Like, you expect me to believe that all New York City police is chasing after a bomb that doesn't exist? You're expecting me that one of the biggest cities in America is sending their entire police department, the whole entire cities, to go after whatever this terrorist said, knowing full and well that this terrorist, not everything he says is truth. And I've seen so many movies, and did not a single cop think about maybe tracing this guy's call to try to figure out where Simon was calling from? And you expect me to believe that Simon would have gone all through this trouble just to get to John McClane? This stupid. This whole premise of this movie is just completely stupid. What I would have liked to have seen is Simon wanting his revenge on John McClane. I would like to have seen that. The way by doing it is Simon could have gone to John McClane's family. Holly is not in this movie. And she's not even in the next two movies. So if Simon's really wanting revenge, we're supposed to believe he's wanting his revenge for his little brother's death, then why not just start off the movie with just giving us a little backstory and just say that Simon killed Holly? And that would make it be understandable why John McClane's character is such a wreck, and you would understand his character so much more, and you would appreciate his character so much more because you're understanding. Oh crap! And that would create more audience because a lot of people could relate to that. Well, not to the other thing, but people lose loved ones all the time. John McClane isn't the same smartass in this movie that is why everybody liked him in the first two movies. There's just too many holes in this movie. I would not recommend anybody to go see this movie. This is by far. I'm not going to say it's one of the worst I'm not going to say it's the worst Die Hard movie because the fifth one's pretty bad, but it's just, I would not recommend this movie, even though it has an amazing cast of actors in it. You got your Bruce Willis from Moral Thoughts and Billy Bathgate, 1991. Jeremy Irons from 1982, Moonlighting, and 1981, The French Lieutenant Woman. Samuel Jackson from 1993's Loaded Weapon 1 and Andrew. Graham Greene from 1990, Dances with Wolves, and 1990, Lost in the Barrens. Larry Brigman from 1982, Hanky Panky, and 1979, Injustice for All. Please come back for my next two reviews after this, where I review the rest of the Die Hard movies. If you have any movies you'd like me to review, please comment them below.